Imagine holding a soft sweater in your hands. Have you ever wondered how a pile of wool from a farm becomes something so comfortable, so precise, so perfectly knit that it almost seems inevitable? What's the true journey of a sweater, from a sheep's back all the way to the finish line of a clothing store rack? The process is longer, more intricate, and surprisingly hands-on than most people ever imagine. Let's unravel the story, step by step, tracing the thread as it twists through fields, factories, and finally, our closets. It all begins with sheep, quietly grazing in pastures. Each spring or early summer, when their wool has grown thick and heavy, it's time for shearing. In a single, practiced movement, skilled shearers carefully remove the fleece in one piece, almost like peeling off a sweater itself. This part always fascinates people who see it for the first time. A cloud of wool slides off, leaving behind a sheep that looks almost comically shorn. The raw wool, full of dirt, grease, little burrs, and even twigs, is called grease wool. It's nothing like the clean, fluffy fiber that's destined to be spun into thin yarn. At this point, it's earthy and tangled, still holding the story of where it grew. What comes next is called skirting, where the dirtiest parts of the fleece, like those around the legs and belly, are removed. Workers spread the fleece out, pick through it by hand, and discard anything that shouldn't continue on its journey. The skirting process highlights the hands-on reality of wool processing. Even in the age of machines, some work is best done by people who know what to look for. Now, it's time to clean the wool. This isn't a quick rinse in the sink. The wool is scoured, meaning it's washed in giant tubs filled with hot water and a mild detergent. Once, someone compared this part of the process to making tea, except here, the brew is full of lanolin, the oily substance sheep produce naturally. As the wool soaks, grease, dust, and vegetable matter float away. But as the wool dries, something feels different. It's lighter, cleaner, and smells faintly sweet. This is what's called clean wool. Scouring transforms a messy fleece into something recognizable. The first soft step towards fabric. Now the wool is ready to be carded. A process that aligns the fibers and separates remaining dirt or debris. Think of it like combing hair, but on a much grander scale. Carding machines are made of giant metal drums covered with tiny wire teeth. As wool tumbles through, the fibers comb out into long, fluffy sheets called rovings, or sometimes into wide, untwisted ropes. Carding isn't just about untangling. It sets up the neat order that's needed for spinning, because fibers that aren't aligned don't twist together well, and that twist is crucial for strength. With the wool now carded, it's spun into yarn. People have been spinning wool for over 6,000 years, and even today, the mechanics are astonishingly old school. Spinning twists the fibers together, giving them structure and turning millions of short hairs into long, continuous threads. There's something mesmerizing about watching spinning in action. A steady rhythm, a soft whir, and the sudden appearance of smooth, even yarn where before there was only a tangle of fibers. On a massive industrial scale, spinning frames handle hundreds of threads at once, transforming raw rovings into spools of yarn, each strand ready to be knit. But wool doesn't go straight from spinning to sweater. First, it's washed and sometimes blended with other fibers or dyed to get the exact color and texture needed. Dyeing can happen at many stages, sometimes to the raw wool, other times to the finished yarn. Vivid reds, deep blues, soft grays, all crafted to match someone's vision of the perfect garment. Next, the yarn is knit up into panels or shapes, piece by piece. High-speed knitting machines today can produce a sweater body in a matter of minutes, Yet the principle behind knitting hasn't changed for centuries. Loops of yarn interlock to make a flexible, elastic fabric. If you could peek inside a knitting machine as it works, you'd see dozens, sometimes hundreds, of tiny hooked needles darting back and forth, each one grabbing and pulling loops of yarn. Patterns emerge row by row. The result might be a classic cable knit, a patterned jacquard, or the simplest plain weave. After knitting, there's still work to be done. Most sweaters are knit as flat panels first, a front, back, and 2 sleeves. Each piece is joined together, sometimes by hand, using a needle and thread, sometimes by a machine that mimics that careful touch. Seams must be strong but almost invisible, so the sweater wears well and feels comfortable against the skin. Finishing touches matter. The neckline might be ribbed for stretch, the cuffs made tighter to keep out the cold. Sometimes extra yarn is embroidered on for decoration, or buttons are sewn in place. Once the garment is assembled, it's finished. Washed gently one more time to even out the seams and relax the fabric. Steamed to its final shape and checked for flaws. A missed stitch, a pull in the yarn, a weak seam. Each one is caught and corrected here. Finally, the sweater is ready for its final journey. Even as it leaves the factory, each one carries the invisible fingerprints of everyone who played a part. The shepherds, the shearers, the cleaners, the spinners, the knitters, the finishers. Every stage adds something unique. A human touch, a decision, a bit of skill passed down from someone's teacher or parent. And here's a curious thing. When you pull on a well-made wool sweater, you're wrapped in a history that stretches back thousands of years. Wool, after all, was one of the first fibers ever spun into yarn and woven into clothing. The basic technology, twisting fibers for strength, then interlocking them for stretch, hasn't really changed. People have tried other ways to make fabric, but wool endures because it's perfectly suited to the job. Warm but breathable, naturally elastic, and able to absorb moisture without feeling damp. Unlike synthetic fibers, wool is renewable. Sheep regrow their coats each year, ready to begin the process again. The journey from sheep to sweater is also a lesson in transformation. At each step, something messy and unworkable is made useful, often by the simplest methods. A wash, a comb, a twist, a loop. Each stage brings it one step closer to something beautiful and practical. It's tempting to see sweaters as simple, everyday things. Maybe just a garment to keep warm, something to throw on without a second thought. But when you look closer, they're the product of teamwork, of blending manual skill, mechanical innovation, and creative vision. Consider the contrast. How different is a raw fleece, with its clumps of dirt and lanolin, from the smooth final product folded on a shelf. That transformation comes down to process, carefully guided by people, machines, and time. There's also a broader reflection hidden in the life of a sweater. Take, for example, these lines from a poem about craft. Poem narrator said, "To every work a season. First, the task begun of drawing wool from earth and sun, then cleaning, teasing, twist, and ply. 100 hands before a single sleeve is done. What can we take from that?" This passage isn't just about the technical process. It's a reminder of how layered and communal even everyday objects can be. No sweater is the product of a single step or person, but the outcome of many lives crossing paths. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when you trace its backstory. And consider, for another moment, the way transformation echoes through philosophy. The Greek concept of poiesis, meaning to bring forth, to make, suggests that creating something physical, is never only about the end product. It's about the process, the act of shaping, the continuity between intention and reality. Imagine the rhythm of the hands at work. Twist, spin, knit. Each motion is both ancient and immediate, a living connection to people who, long ago, wondered how to take something wild and turn it into something useful. There's a certain satisfaction in wearing wool, even if you don't know its whole journey. It's comfort, yes, but it's also continuity, a link to the complicated, communal, surprisingly beautiful process that began with a single sheep. So the next time you pull a turtleneck over your head or wrap a cardigan around your shoulders, pause for a second. Trace the texture of the yarn with your fingertips and imagine the voyage it took to arrive here, from barnyard to bath, to spinning frame to knitting needle, and finally, to you. It's easy to overlook the story in things we use every day, but everything handmade, everything carefully finished, carries more than its weight in history. Wool sweaters, especially, are a testament to what can be achieved when patience, skill, and nature's best materials all come together. Maybe that's what makes them feel so cozy after all. Not just the warmth against your skin, but the journey from chaos to comfort, hidden in every stitch.